Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we are doing a highlight video. We're going to talk about some of the best things, most interesting things that have happened to us on our channel in 2023. So I'm really excited for us to just sit down and chat for a little bit and reminisce about this year.
And as always, down below in the comments, be sure to let us know how your year of gaming went in 2023. We'd love to hear all about it. What's been exciting, what's been new. We love reading all about that stuff. It's really fun for us.
Yeah.
The first category we're going to talk about is the various events we went to. What are some of our favorite events, some of our favorite things that we did from an event standpoint?
I, for the first time, went to Geekway, and it was so much fun. Ryan explained to me how he differentiates conventions. He says there's local, regional, and national, and we consider Geekway regional. According to that, and it was so much fun. It was just games. It was just playing games with an open library, and it was a great way to get access to a lot of games that we wouldn't necessarily get access to. So it was great to just literally for hours a day, as chill and as easy as you want. It was a really great experience.
Yeah, I love Geekway to the West. It's a blast.
Yeah.
This is my fourth year.
I don't know, maybe.
Third or fourth, something like that.
Yeah.
It's great, and we'll be back for sure. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is the Proto-Spiel events. In addition to reviewing games, I like to pretend to be an amateur game designer, right? These Proto-Spiel events, they happen all over the country. Every month, it seems like there's a new one popping up somewhere. The three I went to this year were in Madison, Milwaukee, and Chicago. Those are ones within good driving distances for us. And basically, it's a bunch of board game designers or just people who like playtesting games. They get together and they show their games to each other and they playtest them and give feedback, which is fantastic. It's so much fun. You get to play all new games. You get to talk to designers. You get to kind of peer into their mind a little bit, ask questions, give feedback. Sometimes even your ideas might even get implemented into another iteration of the game.
Yeah.
And sometimes games fall apart, and that's fun too. It's all we're just learning. We're all trying to make our games get to the best possible level.
And not everybody there is even trying to get their games published.
Right. Sometimes it's just for fun. Like maybe there's a teacher who wants to make a game about learning whatever it is, and they want to teach their kids based off this idea they had. Okay, no problem. I'll bust it out. Let's see if we can make it a little better.
Yeah.
You know, how can we make it better? So I definitely recommend, if you are an amateur game designer like me and you want to take your games to the next level, find a Proto-Spiel event near you and check it out. You will not be sad about that.
All right, another highlight of this year was going to Gen Con, which we've gone to in the past, but this was my first year going as media, and it was a completely different experience. It was still busy and it was still wild, but it's just slightly different. Like, I was able to go to some media-only meetings, and it was so cool to hear these different companies, specifically Renegade and AG had this, like, upcoming thing, and they showed videos and they showcased their games, and it was really fun to be in that and to see everything that's coming out and just to hear these owners talk about their companies that they love and all these things that they're putting forth, and it was just so fun to see that side of it with all of these different events, and then to have all these scheduled like meetings. It was weird to have like all these scheduled meetings, and it totally makes sense because this is in the industry. This is an opportunity where a lot of people are going to be at the same place at the same time, so you can make a bunch of meetings. One of the funny things though that I just thought of right now is when people are making these meetings, there's a lot of different time zones, and there's some software that people were using, and I guess it didn't account for some of the time zones. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, that's a problem.
Oh my gosh, there's multiple times where, like, we were wrong because we showed up for a meeting at a different time because it was a time zone issue, and we signed, and it was just...
Or we showed up to the right meeting time, and they were like, oh, shoot, it defaulted back to our home city's time zone, or whatever.
Yes, that happened a lot, because you have, like, all of these people across America trying to meet at this one. It was crazy. Everybody was great about it, though. Not a single issue we came up where it was actually an issue, but it was just a weird thing that I wouldn't think about just being an attendee, but from going as a media perspective, now I really have to think about that.
It almost feels like a trade show.
Yeah.
And speaking of trade shows, great segue, Ryan. Thanks, Ryan. The Gamma Expo. So Gamma is, for lack of a better word, kind of like the board gaming governing body. It's not really. I mean, you can opt to be in it or not. But there's publishers, there's retailers, there's people in the media, all that kind of stuff, all going on. Designers, all that stuff, artists. They can join Gamma, and they can have all this opportunities to network and learn from each other. And the Gamma Expo is basically their trade show. It's their opportunity to get together and have a kind of a conference or convention for 5 days of just getting together and networking and and learning from each other and taking the whole gaming industry as a whole to the next level. It was such a cool experience for me to go to, and I'll be going again coming up here in the spring. It's just the cooperation between all the different facets of the industry is just fascinating to me. A lot of times, if I've been to car shows before, trade car shows because that's my kind of my day job, and a lot of times it's Ford versus Honda and it's Chevy versus whatever it is, and it's everybody's kind of negative to the whole thing, and it's all these secrets like whatever behind these closed doors. No, this is much more like, hey, I noticed you had a great game come out. What is it going to take to get it into this store over here so that we can sell a few more units? Or you know what? Hey, that I'm a publisher, but you're a publisher. I love that game you put out. Great job. Keep up the good work.
Yeah.
That was the level of cooperation and networking, and it was just fascinating to see. And I loved it. And I'll be going again and covering that again this year. So look forward to that. But I think Gamma is a great organization, and the Gamma Expo was really, really fun to experience.
All right, the last thing we wanted to talk about in this category was specifically an event that happened at Gen Con, which I'm still like the best party I've ever been to. I obviously don't get out much, but we were invited to go to the Lorcana party.
Like the launch party.
Lorcana launch party, and it was so cool. There were a lot of
There was reps from Disney. There was reps from Ravensburger. The designers were there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so cool. They basically rented out a space with a patio and everything, and we just got to have all these fancy drinks that were Lorcana themed.
Yes, and I'm so excited. I don't drink, and so the fact that they had these super awesome, specific, non-alcoholic, related to Lorcana drinks meant a lot to me because I'm not able to enjoy those things basically because that's just not a thing that doesn't exist. But they have all these mocktails, and I'm like, I can do that! Yay, mocktails for me! Are you looking for a picture?
Yeah, they made us these awesome Lorcana trading cards of ourselves.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was so much fun. It was seriously so much fun. And honestly, I don't know if we play Lorcana a lot now at home, but I'm always thinking about that party. That party is reminds me to play the game.
All right, so the next thing we want to talk about is games that were new to us in 2023 that we enjoyed that weren't not necessarily released in 2023.
Correct.
Later on, probably in a couple of months or so, we're going to be doing a top 10 of 2023. Right, we're going to go through the whole year. We're going to break it into categories. We're going to do a big, long, not award ceremony is the wrong thing, but we're going to do an overview of the best games of 2023. So this is not that. This is just our favorite games that we got to play.
That were not released in 2023, but are new to us.
Yes.
My first game, which if you've been following our channel for any length of time, you probably know that I'm going to talk about this one, is Kites. Oh my gosh, that game is so fun and stressful. I really enjoyed it. It's a real-time game, and you have all these sand timers, but they move at different times, and so you have to flip them before anything goes out. If a sand timer ever goes out, then you lose the game. The way that you move the sand timer is by playing a card, depending on the color, it has to match the sand timer. So that's how you move it. You're taking turns. It's cooperative, and it's actually a lot more stressful than that. Sounds really simple, and it is really simple, and I think that's the reason why it can be so stressful. But oh my gosh, such a straightforward game, and I loved it.
Richard Garfield is a designer who's been amazingly popular for a long time, made some great games like King of Tokyo, Magic the Gathering, just tons of great stuff. But Robo Rally was one of his big classics from a long time ago. I just never played it. I played a ton of programming games, and every time I'm taught a programming game, someone's like, have you ever played Robo Rally? It's kind of like that. I'm like, I've never played Robo Rally. But there's a new edition that came out from Renegade, and holy crap, what a cool programming game. I mean, it feels like this classic programming game that I see why everybody else references it when they're talking about programming games. You're running these little robots into walls and blasting each other with lasers. Oh, it's just a blast. What a cool game.
And then the last one for me was, okay, I have to write this down because the title is silly long. Psychic Pizza Deliverers Go to the Ghost Town. Oh my gosh. So this is a really fun game where it's kind of like a logic puzzle. Somebody knows where everything is, and you are a pizza delivery dude trying to pick up the pizza and deliver it, but you don't know anywhere of where you're going. So you just have to guess, and then it's almost like Battleship, but better. It's like Battleship Plus, and it was so much fun. Our daughter was able to be like the game master in sense.
Yeah, they're
so
called the mayor of the town.
Yeah, the mayor of the town. So she was able to place everything in one of the games that we played. Oh my gosh, she loved it. She just giggled the whole time whenever we'd run into a ghost or if we got to our pizza, and she'd be like, hee hee hee, because she knew it was happening when we were moving around on the board. I had such a blast with this game.
One of our favorite parts about playing games is the fact that we get to do it with friends and family. Games are great and they're fun, but without having cool people to play them with, that means nothing. So next one I want to talk about is some cool events and some cool little moments that have happened over the past year with friends and family that we want to talk about.
One of my all-time favorite games is Legacy, The Testament of Duke de Cracy. I love this game. I think it's so much fun. You're trying to build your legacy by having your children marry well, and you're buying titles, and you're doing good deeds, and whatever. So, anyway, we're talking about making this list. We're just talking about what we want to put on it. And our daughter, our 10-year-old, is there. And when we're talking about the new to you games that you really like, she's like, that Legacy one, the Dude. Yes. But so this is the game that she was talking about. So it's a game that I really love, and I love that my daughter is now really liking this game, and so I get to bring her in along with that. So it's just really fun whenever that happens, when you can share something that you love with somebody else and that they genuinely enjoy it as well. So I'm very excited that her and I are aligned in this game.
Earlier in this summer, I kind of went part-time in my main day job. I went part-time to that so I could focus more on hanging out with our kids and being in, seeing with them more often and giving them everything they need to grow up, right?
Yeah.
And have parents involved actively in their lives. So one of the things I did as a part of that was I put on our schedule every day, we're going to have something called the Game of the Day. Which wasn't every day. It was like most days.
Yeah.
But, man, every day the kids are asking for, okay, it's time for our Game of the Day. And do I get a game of the day? And do you get a day? Or we both get the game of the day? How many games are we playing here? And it was just so much fun to play games in the schedule, built into the schedule, to play some games with our kids. It's been a blast just to seeing how their tastes come out and what kind of games they like, what kind of games they don't like, and see how they're transitioning from kids' games into more advanced games. And we want to do that organically, right?
Yes.
We did not want it to be like, kids' games suck, grown-up games are the only way to go. Oh. No, we wanted to enjoy everything that kids' games had to offer, and then kind of the next step, and the next step, and now our oldest is playing, like I said, Legacy and everything else. So letting them take the reins as far as where things are going. But it's been so much fun to just play games of the day with them. The other thing I want to talk about, too, was we have one of your nieces, who's my niece, too, she is a budding gamer, right?
Yeah.
She did not see that coming, and just every time we get a chance to play games with her, she's right there. And in fact, now it's an expectation. Whenever we're at a family gathering, what games did you bring?
Yes.
What games did you bring?
Yeah.
And now she's got a boyfriend, and so every family gathering, hey, I want to teach Zay some games,
Yeah.
So we're playing games with all kinds of family, and it's just so much fun.
He's
it's
such
very
a good
rewarding.
sport about it too. Yeah. I mean, come on. It's super weird to be with your girlfriend's family and then to have your girlfriend's uncle, teach you this game. I guess this is what we're doing, especially if you're not a gamer. All of you watch and you're like, that's not weird at all. But if you're not a gamer, it's a weird thing, and he's such a good sport about it.
Come on, we're nerdy. We're weird. It's abnormal from an outside perspective, but to see them be like, you know what? That was fun.
Yeah.
I get it. I want more of that.
All right, so now we're going to talk about just other things that didn't necessarily align with any of these other categories, but we thought were significant during this year.
So, one of the things is we had an opportunity to invest in a brand new board game company. So now we're like, investors and advisors to Play to Z. This is a brand new company. Zev, who was, the Z and Z-Man games, that was Zev. He was also WizKids.
Yeah.
And now Play to Z, and there's so many great people involved, from Jeff Engelstein to Stephen Bonacore and Scott Brady, and so many just amazing, talented people in this organization, all coming together to pool together some money and make some great games. So it's been fun to see behind the scenes how all that comes together.
Yeah.
And we've already got our first Kickstarter already dialed up, ready to go, and a whole bunch of things down the pipeline as well. So keep your eyes out for Play to Z. And we're not part of the company, right? We're just low-level investors, but nonetheless, we're excited about it, and
Yeah.
it's fun to see how all that grows.
But like I said about the Gen Con thing and just seeing things from a different perspective, this is another opportunity to see the industry from a different perspective. So it's going to be really fun just to see what happens with that. Something that was really fun for me personally, and they are not a sponsor because it's going to sound like I'm shelling out for them, and I just want you to know.
I know where this is going already.
This is not a sponsor. So 25th Century Games does like a mug of the year. They have like these handcrafted coffee mugs. And last year they were posting about them, and I commented, and I was just saying how I thought it was so cool. The mug, I should have brought it down, but I'm washing it right now because I use it because I really like it.
She's like an absolute beverage goblin. She's got beverages everywhere at all times.
I am.
Most of which are in mugs.
Yes, it's very true. Like the other day I was upset because I only had 3 cups of tea, and I thought I could get more in the day.
There's not enough hours in the day to drink more tea.
True story.
Anytime where mugs and board games cross over,
yes.
She's in.
So I just really, really liked it. I was just commenting how I thought it was really cool. So they sent me a mug in the mail, but what they didn't know is when they sent it to me, it was the week of my birthday. And so like I got this board game mug from 25th Century the week of my birthday, and I was just so excited about that. Like, this is a great birthday present, and you didn't even know. So if you like coffee mugs, I would check them out. They just have a new cast that came out. Like I said, not a sponsor, but they're really cool, so I definitely give them a check that out.
All right, so also I kind of mentioned earlier that I'm a very amateur board game designer. I have got a game that I actually got my first board game signed. Mm-hmm. This is a co-design with 2 other fantastic designers. I'm not going to mention any details at this point yet until more gets announced later on, but it's been so cool, again, to see that side of the industry play out. And so once I have the freedom to talk more about it, I would let you guys know for sure. I can't do a critical review of it because that'd be. But I'll definitely let you know about it. I'll let you know that it's awesome and super fun. But so I got my first game signed, and
Yeah.
So congratulations to me and my co-designers.
Yeah, no, it's a big deal. Be excited. Be excited. It's super exciting. Another thing that we had done this year. So we have this thing whenever we get a game, we decide if we're going to keep it. If we are going to keep it, we have to get rid of something else. That's just how we operate. But we actually
don't have unlimited space.
We don't. And we're not going to be those people who keep on buying shelves to keep our games. We want to keep games that we play, essentially. We're not collectors. We're hobbyists, I guess, is the way to view that. But we actually did a kind of a big purge this year, even within that as well. A bigger purge than I don't think we would have even been able to do 4 or 5 years ago. Because
it's definitely a muscle that you end up kind of growing.
Yeah.
The first time we ever got rid of a game.
Like you there's memories associated with so many of these games that it's hard to separate that. Like, I need this space, but this has emotional value to me. Yeah. I mean, there's a few kids games that we will not get rid of because of that. Even if the girls want to get rid of them, I'm like, no, you're keeping this, and this is why. But yeah.
Yeah, so we got get rid of over the course of the year like 200 games.
Yeah.
And like 100 of it all in one shot. So we're going to keep on doing that. So if that topic sounds interesting to you, let us know in the comments below. If you want to hear more about that, we can kind of go over our thought processes behind it all, what games we're getting rid of. If that sounds interesting to you, let us know in the comments below.
We'll do a separate video
about it. We'll make a whole separate thing about that. All right, so then lastly, let's talk about what we're looking forward to. This is the things that in 2024, looking forward to the future. So for one thing, we're going to be attending the Strong Tower Convention. This is a new convention to us that is in Wisconsin, and very much looking forward to it. Some of our friends like Randy and Ellen Kirby went last year. It's a fairly new convention too, and it's already growing really, really strongly. And so we're going to get a chance to go there and hang out with everybody there. So we encourage you guys, if you are anywhere close to that Wisconsin area, it's worth the trip. And we'll be there, and we'll be playing games, and we'll be setting up some events and stuff like that, so you guys can play with us. That'd be fantastic.
We also do a yearly get-together with just a bunch of people in our area, like 15 to 25 of us, to play games.
We call it NumiCon.
We do call it NumiCon,
yeah. Best convention of the year.
We've used this one venue that I personally love. It's out in the middle of nowhere. It's so nice. There's really nothing to do, but I kind of like that.
It's like hiking or playing games.
Essentially, antiques. There's so many ticks there. I don't really like that, but such is deer country. That just comes with the territory. Well, anyway, the prices have gone up so much that we just couldn't justify using that same venue. And a couple of years ago, one of our friends, Sarah, do you remember? She found this one.
She found it when they were still under construction.
Yeah, when it was under construction. And so this was a place that we were thinking about, and now we kind of are forced to go there, but it's really exciting. It looks so cool, and I'm excited about trying out this new venue. We might even be able to take more people if more people can come, so that's also exciting because we were at our max at the old place, so I'm looking forward to that.
So the next thing I want to talk about is, I guess it's not the last thing, but we are currently in Ticket to Ride Legacy, the Legends of the West. We've gone through a number of Legacy games. This is the first one we've done with, that's kind of more of an advanced game, I guess.
Yeah.
With the four of us in our family. We did a kids one, which was a really fun experience called Captain Pepe Adventure Treasure Ahoy. But this is kind of, we use that as like training of how a legacy system works. So now we can play a more advanced grown-up game with our family of four.
Yeah.
And Ticket to Ride is a game that they already know and love. And so being able to incorporate the legacy elements and doing it all together has been very fun. We're 4 missions in, we've got 8 more to go.
Yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to just seeing where it ends up.
And like most legacy games, they're doing a good job of walking us through, even to the point to where our 6-year-old is understanding the rules from the previous things and the small things that have been added. When we start the new game, she understands it all.
Right.
So that's working out really well. Yeah.
So I think the big last thing we want to do this year, I'm really happy to announce this, is the fact that we're going to be doing our top 100 games of the year.
We're not going to do that.
The top 100 games of all time. We're going to do that, right?
Okay, so here's the thing.
Yeah, we're going to put a video out there for top 100 games.
We might do that. I'm willing to do that if we reach 3,000 subscribers.
So what do you think? People need to subscribe if they want to see these videos?
Yeah, if you want to see our top 100 games, subscribe, get people to subscribe, because I'm not going to do it until we have 3,000 people.
Wow, she drives a hard bargain, you guys. You better listen to her. Yeah, so absolutely. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that comment button, hit that subscribe button, share our videos, hit that notification bell. All those things. The reason people say that in videos is because it matters. Yeah. You know, it helps the algorithm.
And I'm totally serious. Ryan really wants to do this, and I'm saying for real, not unless we get this mark. Ryan's like, but what if we don't get that mark?
Well, I think the people are going to rise to the occasion, and if they haven't subscribed yet, they're going to be willing to just to see the top 100 of all time, as per Ryan and Bethany.
Woo! That is going to be such an undertaking. There's so many good games.
We did a top 50 a few years ago, and that was a lot of work.
Oh my! And we've played so many more games since then. Oh my gosh! I probably played triple as many games as I have since we first made that video.
You got your work cut out for you.
Oh, it's kind of. I'm gonna have to take time off work to make this.
I need a vacation day from all these games.
Yeah. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Like Ryan said at the beginning of the video, we want to know what your highlights are of 2023. Make sure to let us know in the comments below. And like Ryan also said, don't forget to like, comment, and share, and subscribe. Let people know about us, so that way we can put me through the stress of putting out a top 100 games of all time.
Yeah, thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next year.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
You guys, thanks for watching our shenanigans. As always, we appreciate it. Over here, if you follow this link, you're going to find a playlist we've hand-selected, handcrafted just for you, because you watched this video.
And if you check over here, this is a video that YouTube thinks you might like. So you can check that out if you want as well.
All right, we appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.